Round 3 of the South African Off-Road Championships moved to the rolling countryside around Pietermaritzburg in KwaZulu-Natal. With the Queen Motor Spares Setlift 400 and the Jojo Tanks Barberspun 500 already under their belts, championship hopefuls were looking to consolidate title challenges. For others, it was a case of playing the catch-up game. Clayton Enslin, former motocross star Gary Peterson and local favourite Alfie Cox led the 3 motorcycle category championships. Enslin topped the 200 class, Peterson the 250 and Cox the 500 category.
The sponsors this year, Alna, Kawasaki and FMF, have put a lot of effort into this year, giving me a good motivation, pushing hard. I'm going to get the Kawasaki, Alna, and keep them happy. And up to now, it seems to be good. I've got a comfortable lead, and just hope it stays that way.
No surprises in the production vehicle championship, with reigning champions Appie Reineke and Robin Houghton leading the way in the dealer team Toyota Land Cruiser. A win in the Jojo Tanks Barberspun 500 lifted Cliff Barker and Malcolm Joubert into second place in the Pennzoil Land Rover.
Yes, I think obviously we finished the first 2 events and we only finished 2 last year. I think it's probably due to the fact that we've got a new sponsor who's obviously put a bit more effort into our team. And we've responded by obviously spending a bit more time and trouble on the vehicle and more preparation, and I think everything should go well for us.
After 2 rounds, the quad category had a strange look about it. Reigning champion Wikus van Deventer, who had dominated quad racing in South Africa for 3 seasons, was languishing in 4th place behind championship leader Johan Kruger, Christophe van der Merwe and Eric van Lille.
The bikes are going very well, and I'm quite confident today we're going out the right for a win, that's definite. And if nothing goes wrong, there's not much that's going to stop us today.
John Lambert and Hendrik Fourie led the Special Vehicle Championship, but behind them it was a dogfight. Only 2 points separated the next 3 crews, with 3 former SA Championship title holders featuring in the first 5 on the championship table.
Yeah, we're there. We've been consistent. We're leading the championship. Unfortunately, at the start of this race, I snapped a CV joint 100 meters into the race, and I had to replace it on the time trial. I'm just going to repack it quickly.
The traditional time trial before national championship events is a short sprint that determines start positions for the race proper the next day. The time trial gives competitors an early look at the sort of conditions they can expect in the race, and also offers an opportunity to pinpoint any mechanical problems. Off-road events counting towards the South African Championship are decided on corrected time. This means combining times for the short time trial section with a race proper. The car and bucky classes in South African off-road racing are split into 2 categories. The special vehicle category caters for custom-built space frame vehicles, which are split into classes depending on engine capacity. The majority of the vehicles are imported from the United States and incorporate the latest technology with a variety of power plants utilized by South African competitors. After heavy rain in KwaZulu-Natal prior to the Sugarbelt 400, competitors were pleasantly surprised to find the route for the time trial relatively dry. Wet conditions along the route were being reserved for the race proper, and with competitors relishing the dry conditions, the pace in the time trial was a hot one. Vehicles competing in the production vehicle category in South African off-road racing are also split into a variety of classes. These are once again decided on engine capacity as well as the drivetrain configuration. There are classes for 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive vehicles, with the Motorsport South Africa Off-Road Commission working hard towards increasing the number of competitors racing in near-standard vehicles. The Off-Road Commission is also working hard to increase manufacturer participation in off-road racing, with the Sugarbelt 400 seeing the debut of a Mitsubishi Pajero in the hands of local crew Neil Woolridge and Paul Vermaak. When the dust had settled on the time trial, 9 of the cars in the top 10 were from the special vehicle category, with the Chetbeck father and son team just edging out Bux Carolyn and Kenny Scholthammer. Neil Woolridge and Paul Vermaak are previous winners of the Sugarbelt 400 and had high hopes for the turbo diesel Mitsubishi Pajero.
Yeah, we've got a new car this year, the Mitsubishi 2.8 turbo diesel short wheelbase. Very similar to what's done that well overseas, the Dakar. They won the first 3 places, they won the T1 class. It's a very similar car. We've had a lot of help from the people that actually prepare the Dakar cars, Sonota in France. And obviously Mitsubishi here have given us a hell of a lot of help, and we're very excited about it. It's Mitsubishi were last in racing here about 10 years ago,
and they did very well. They won the South African Championship, so we're hoping we can do it again.
Motorcycle off-road racing is also split into categories, with engine capacity the deciding factor. There are 3 classes catering for machines in the 200cc, 250 and open categories, with each class producing its own champion. After overall and class wins in the first 2 events this season, no one was looking further than local hero Alfie Cox when it came to picking a winner for the Sugarbelt 400. Cox has dominated South African off-road racing over the last 5 or 6 years and is in a class of his own. With the motorcyclists also reveling in the dry time trial conditions, times over the 20-kilometer time trial route were very fast. It was significant that 3 of the riders in the top 5 were Italians, with 4 different manufacturers featuring in the top 10. Experienced Italian Richard Manning set the fastest time ahead of Grant Bloomfield and Lance Treffiwi. In a minor surprise, Cox found himself down in 4th place, but was only 10 seconds behind Manning. Quad racing is one of the fastest growing motorsport categories in South Africa. As with the car and motorcycle categories, quads are split into classes. Class K caters for near standard machines, with Class L incorporating high technology modified four-wheelers. Quad racing has had national off-road championship status for 3 years, with the sport dominated over the last couple of seasons by Lichtenburg dairy farmer Wikus van Deventer, who this year switched from Yamaha to Honda and was joined in the Jojo Tanks team by Anton Hoffman on a Yamaha Banshee. Although he's without a win this season, Van Deventer dominated the time trial on the Jojo Tanks Honda. He came in just over 30 seconds ahead of Mark Breckel, with Christoph van der Merwe, Paul Breckel and Adrian High completing the top 5. Yamaha riders filled 9 of the top 10 placings in the time trial. Off-road racers have a fetish about early morning starts. When most people are tucked up in bed on a chilly morning, off-roaders are ready to go racing. Although they have the advantage of a clear road ahead of them, morning conditions on the Sugarbelt would be tricky, and the Chepek father and son combination were not thinking in terms of any early race heroes.